Welcome back to SL Chennai Speaks Out Season 2. Is fitness a fad or a reality? That's our topic today. I could see Prahlad Bulchandani almost wanting to sort of unbutton his shirt sleeves and actually roll them up and flex his biceps. Dr. Rajkumar, who's already come, flexing all his biceps in a t-shirt. This is the time for our third round. It's called Bowl Out. Your time starts now.
Right. Okay, here we go. If fitness has been looked at the way you say it's being looked at, I'm just going to bounce exactly whatever he said to you. Why are more people ever dying at this point of time due to lack of fitness? India has never been so unfit in terms of cholesterol, triglyceride, sugar, BP, bellies, obesity. It's never been this unfit. If enough people are being fit as you say, then we shouldn't be having this huge health problem on our hands. WHO last year announced that obesity is a pandemic like bird flu. I mean, what Dr. Kaushal and I are trying to say is that we want more girls to look like Shalini and more guys to look like you.
Yeah, me too.
You understand the point?
Yes.
Doctor,
we agree.
Me too.
Yeah, of course. you already look like him.
You're almost getting there.
Yeah, that's it. The point is not that fitness is not important. We're also saying the same thing, but we are saying that it's not being looked at in the right direction. Either people go to gyms, and most of the people go to gyms now, mainly it's about looks. It's not about overall I want to be fit. I mean, that's the point we're trying to make. So,
Doc, all the statistics that you mentioned will take a person sooner to the doctor, right? To just check out and see how fit they are. I mean, in terms of, we're taking various tests and
not
things.
to the doctor necessarily.
No, they all go because, there's so much of hype and propaganda.
What she's trying to say is the
age
has
level
come down, right?
of, somebody even getting diabetes or hypertension has come down.
Yes, it has.
So they're heading to a doctor sooner and doing all these, master health checkup and everything. So you yourself are telling them that, hey, you need to exercise.
Yes,
So
and then they don't.
No way, they do.
And then they don't.
They do.
Yeah, that they don't.
If they did, we wouldn't be having such a big, not enough
It's
people
the
are going to
beginning.
gyms for the right reasons.
Doc, it's a beginning. If you
Yes.
feel that the awareness is so high now, well, today is a beginning. Let's debate this like maybe a couple of years down the line.
Maybe 10 years. I would be happy to be,
this
I'll be
is
on your side in
exactly
10 years'
what the
time. But not
youngsters
now.
are
Right
going to
now,
do.
it's not happening enough. It's not happening enough.
I think a lot of people are going to the gym and it's not because they want to look good, because they want to feel good, they want to have a healthy life, to be able to do all the day-to-day activities.
I think that maybe in your small group, Shalini, Biswajit, and I think I'd be happy. It also sort of indirectly, I'm not going to say this in the camera, but indirectly shows that most of us in the 40-plus age group, I'm not saying anything more about after 40, but would think that way. But the 20-plus, I would be happy for the 20-plus guy to say, look, I don't want to be fat. I'm going to avoid those chips. I'm going to avoid burgers. I'm going to avoid pizzas. You talked about gyms. Do you know that there's been such a huge rise of fast food places? You go to city center, go to any of these places. You have to stand in line. You go to films. You have to stand in line to have some 500 calories of a cold coffee, and everybody's grabbing these and coming in. There you go. That's it. We need to make a basic mindset change. I will walk instead of taking the car. I will take the steps. You go to Satyam, go to the theatre and see. A lot of youngsters standing outside lifts. Where are you going? First floor. First floor. I mean, it's a mindset change. We will walk rather than wait for the lift. We will walk rather than wait for some pooling. That mindset change has to happen.
Definitely
Along
has
with
to
that, you should
happen
go to the gym.
With people like me who advocate and people like you who are doctors who tell their people that they should be doing this. But it's happening. It's not like it's not happening.
We're all in agreement that it's happening. But the debate is it happening enough, and is it happening fast enough? The statistics are, because statistics are what tell you is what's happening across the country. And the statistics are very compelling. It's not happening enough. There's millions of youngsters getting heart attacks and dying. They don't look fat, but they are what we call fat boy slim syndrome. They look slim. They don't even have a paunch maybe, but they're not fit. Their cholesterol is high, the sugar is high, BP is high, and they die at 28 and 29. They don't even perhaps need to go to gym. They need to watch their food. They need to just walk for an hour and a half a day. How many youngsters between 25 and 30 in Adukupari, Vellore, Parangipeti, Kovilpeti, etc., Krompeta, Ranipeta, Peta, how many of them Peta? They are not fit enough. We were just discussing that. Prahlad, if people are going and saying at 25, 24, yes, I want to always be fit. I want to be available for my son. When I'm 40, I don't want to have a heart attack. My son will be only 8 or 6 at that time. I want to be around at that time. I would love it for youngsters in schools and colleges and everywhere to start thinking that way. But at this point in time, they're not thinking. They want to look hot. That's what they're going to gyms for.
Even taking the stairs, which I completely disagree with what you said. I know a lot of people take the stairs, and in fact, at my own office, I have 3 flights of stairs, and my manager, she walks up and down like, 10 times, 12 times, and takes a break and does that again, because that's the only form of exercise she can do. She may not physically go to a gym.
Or it's because you're giving her a hard time.
I'm not. But I'm saying, she just wants to stay fit to be able to do a simple chore, or even weekend cycling. You said it's not consistent. Well, weekend cycling is weekend cycling. You exercise the rest of the week, and then you go out on a cycling trip like I do.
Enough, it's what I'm
There are
saying.
800,000 cyclists in the city of Amsterdam alone. 800,000.
I'm not talking only about
How many people do you see
Doctor,
cycle up the
Doctor,
ECL?
Half the people you see on the roads are going to work on cycles
On
over here.
cycles.
So
I disagree with
No,
that. I disagree
disagree with-
completely.
yes.
How many
When
of
you
you would
go-
agree that all the people are going to work, half the people go to work on cycles?
how many cyclists do you see on the
How
road
many
when
people,
you
how
go?
many of you cycle to work?
Yes, how many of you cycle and
Well,
how many
we
of you
have
really
maybe-
walk?
maybe not.
The
Not even two.
consistency
See,
with the walking.
These people
No,
have.
no.
These
One
people
second,
have
you have a round,
access-
separate round.
We're coming.
We'll come to you, separate round. Yeah.
I believe, yes, if more
The
people
people-
cycles to work,
people
I'd
in
be
the
happy.
audience have the means to go to a gym and get physical exercise out of there because they have other strenuous jobs and things that they do. But the rest of the population is cycling.
Oh, my
aren't
friend,
they?
we live in the real
So,
world. I can tell you, the man is cycling. He simply doesn't have the money to buy a TVS 50 or to buy a scooter. We live in the real world, my friends. Not because he thinks, I'll buy a cycle and I'm going to cycle 20 kilometers a day. Poor fellow will get into a TVS 50 or something and go to work and come back. And he may even set aside that time to go
He
to
may
the
have
gym.
a heat
Doc,
stroke.
he's going to work in a cycle not because he wants to look good, for sure. Okay,
I'm telling you, 100%
doesn't
is
want
going.
to
Yeah,
do that.
that's, he was saying many people cycle to work. Wow, they're cycling to work because they can't afford to buy. I'm telling you.
Exactly.
in
So
a way,
just look
anyway,
at the
that's
hidden health
getting their
benefits.
physical activity.
I can look
done.
at the benefits, but the people are not looking at the benefits.
I think
agree
exercise
with you,
alone
sir.
is not the only thing, isn't it, Dr. Rajkumar? There are more things, and it's all fragmented when it comes to fitness. If fitness is a reality, then there were around 40% deaths in 1990 in India because of lifestyle disorders. Today, it's 60%. So there's a alarmingly high rate, and internationally, we've been declared as an overweight, as he said, as a pandemic. And it's just not exercise alone, and not cycling alone, and not walking alone, and not just taking steps alone. And very few people do it. There's more to add towards fitness. It could be, as I initially mentioned, about physical, mental, moral, social. It's a complete well-being, which is what we are trying to communicate.
No, see, you're talking about now. I
We're
mean,
talking
there is
about now.
a
The debate is about now.
No, there is a huge awareness, and you wait and watch a couple of years down the line. I mean, what people have started now, they will reap the benefits a
So
couple
we
of years
agree
later.
to that. What we're
So
trying
you
to say is not
can't- I mean,
enough.
Not
It's
enough.
not
Yeah,
enough.
it's not
It's
enough.
not enough.
Not at all enough.
It's not
Wait,
enough.
wait.
It
We're
isn't.
looking at such a creme de la creme of society, and a creme de la creme of society cannot represent the entire framework of society.
That goes
It
To
cannot.
be
You as
honest,
well.
like, do we
No,
need
no, no, it goes-
NDTV Hindu?
We deal with everyone, from cabinet ministers to Kupatottikarans are my patients, and I know the entire,
And
the creme de la creme.
Karan wants to look good, Doc, when he comes to you.
No, he comes to me because he's worried. He's got a heart attack. That's why he comes to me.
Exactly.
That's
It's
why
a
he goes
terminal
for
stage.
exercise.
We are talking about
Because he
prevention.
wants
We've
to
got
be
a long
fit.
way to go. We've got a long way to go before.
We are talking about prevention.
Shalini, recently we attended. Yeah, we're talking about prevention.
Prevention. We are not talking about someone coming to us. Anybody would come with a heart attack, with myocardial infarction, yes.
How many people walk in and say, please check
Yes.
me, doctor. I just want to check. If you just
Exactly.
say, do a check, first thing they'll think is, oh, these doctors in corporate hospitals, they want
Exactly.
to make
They
money,
wanna
they're
milk.
doing a check. You
Yes.
all touch your hearts. If a doctor met you and say, look, come to my hospital, do a check. You're 23, but you may be having diabetes. The thought that will go, this is Kali Yuga. The thought that will go in your head will not be, this man is
He's
seeing his
genuinely
heart.
interested.
It will be, oh, he wants to
He
make
wants to
2,000
make-
bucks.
yeah.
I'm very sorry to say
So
that,
he is.
but this is the truth. Chandra knows I'm known for being brutally honest, and this world is like that. You advertise a master checkup, nobody ever has come to me and said, hey, your hospital advertised master, hey, you guys are making people, what doc? Some new marketing, you guys are going to make money, is what people think. So we don't
also
actually push
because
it. I don't push it. I don't want anyone. But in a debate, you have to understand. Recently, I read a beautiful line in this in the Isha Yoga thing. They have something called Anga Madana, and they said the body should not be an obstacle to what the mind wants to do. You want to run to your mother's house 20 miles, run. That is the principle of yoga. The body should not be an obstacle. You run, your belly is moving separately here. I can't run. The body should not be an obstacle to the mind. I can tell you, the day will come in India, that beautiful day that Vivekananda spoke about, when everyone starts thinking, oh, body should not be an obstacle to the mind.
It's a
The body should
vehicle,
be-
Doc. It's a vehicle, and you have to make sure that the vehicle is well oiled and
Yes,
kept, and that's
but-
why
but-
people
but right
exercise.
now, unfortunately, people are not going, maybe the few people are going to yoga are doing it for that reason, but the people are going to, pump iron are not going to say, I don't want my body to be a block to the,
You don't
to the
pump
mind.
iron I mean,
I'm saying
you do
the
weight
average
training
person
not
who's
to pump
going-
iron,
Well,
so
you
that
want
you
to
have
answer the earlier
muscle
charge
is-
the doctor made. He said most of the people who come to the gym, they can't do those 6 exercises.
Well, I think people who come to the gym, definitely if their trainers make them do the right thing, they definitely do the right exercise. I
How
mean,
many people go to
how many
PT?
people go to the gym and just pump their arms and come back?
How many people
I don't
take
think-
personal
I think,
trainers?
don't need to
20%,
take a, you don't
10%?
need to take a personal trainer.
if you
You
don't
have the
take a personal
internet, you
trainer-
have you know, different sources of information.
How many
on
people
how
go to the
you should
gym are
work
doing
out
the
your
6
body.
basic exercises? Let's just take your gym. How many people?
Everyone.
All 6 are doing the. I must say
Everyone.
it's very good if you're doing
Everyone.
that. But I believe that in my mind, I've gone to a number of gyms across. Only a small proportion are doing all 6. Only a small proportion are doing all 6. I can tell you that. I'm happy
I
that
think
you're.
people see the awareness has not been there, and the awareness is growing.
Yeah, it
Right?
is.
It is growing, and it's going to be there. So even you probably when you started exercising, you wouldn't have done the first all
Agreed.
the 6 exercises,
Agreed.
which you learned over a period of time, and you're doing it.
Absolutely.
So you have to give it some time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with you.
People
We are
are
good, but
going towards it, and it is growing.
Growing.
Without a doubt.
But as she said, not enough.
It is never enough.
It's
But
growing.
it's almost
It's growing. One hopes that in the distant
as long
future,
as
Second
everyone will
factor
think
here
that
is
way.
it's just like after disease they go. It's also very important that media and all of us create an
No, you're talking
awareness
about- Doctor,
towards
you're talking about a
prevention.
very small
that is
segment.
fine.
Prevention, yes.
Anyway, they go because it's they're diagnosed with the issue and they go and they want to be healthy.
That's something which
that's
where sometimes we
Pre-diagnosis.
miss out on time.
It's okay.
I'm
We
talking
miss out
about.
on time.
She's talking about
No, it's
pre-diagnosis.
okay, but at that
Shalini,
point you don't want to just look good, right? You want to stay, you want to live, you want to like stay alive.
That's very, very, very
Yeah.
rare, like, end
Doc,
point,
you're saying
end
there are
point.
so many people with all these health-related issues. Now everybody wants to just stay alive. They go and exercise because that is the only
stay
way
alive.
to,
No,
to
but
beat
when
that.
it comes
That's
to
not enough.
prevention,
To
as
stay
Dr.
healthy.
Rajkumar was saying,
Not
when
to
they
look
come
good.
to you, it's only for impressing someone to wear clothes and the media hype of 6-pack and the size 0 has tremendously to that level where in Australia they have banned, where anorexic girls are no more taken for modeling. You have to look good. So see, somewhere it's made a change. So somewhere we have to understand that it's just not looks, which is
You're
with
actually
fitness.
arguing
It's
for
more
us.
No, no.
towards
are
the
arguing for us.
genetic
She's saying 20
ethnicity, the Asian ethnicity we come from, where we are not for size 0s, and it's more towards feeling good. It's an inside out end of the day.
20 to 30 is the most important critical point. 20 to 30. You tell me how many people at 20 to 30 are actually thinking of heart attacks, of death, of stroke, of kidney failure, of liver failure. You tell me how many 20 to 30 people are
I
thinking
know
of
a lot
that.
of
Carrying the
people-
popcorn and carrying the
Doc, you'll be
cold
surprised.
coffee.
You'll be surprised. A lot of youngsters.
Not
There's
enough.
A lot
Not
of
enough.
youngsters.
Certainly not in the peripheries.
It's
Not across the
never
country.
enough, Doc. It's never
See,
enough.
because,
But you
Not
have
enough.
to start with that small segment. You can't generalize the
If you
whole
ask
thought.
me, has the problem has it started? I'd agree with you. It has started. But is it enough? No. If you ask out of 100 people at this point in time who visit gyms, 80 or 90,
not
I asked
just
this man, all these
visiting
guys said
gym,
3 or 4
Doc.
people are going for overall fitness. Most are going towards either looking like they used to look 20 years ago. What is my opening statement?
I don't think so.
We want
because
more people to do that, but they're not doing it at this
It's
point in time.
fragmented as well.
very
And fitness
fragmented.
is more towards integrating
it's
many
not
things.
just gymming, right? It's like, I mean, it's just doing
Overall
your
fitness,
day-to-day
overall fitness.
activities. That
you
is
could
staying
give
fit.
fitness another definition. It could be to look good. So what? Let it be to look good. It could be to stay healthy. It could be to prevent disease. It could be anything. All these things come under the bracket of fitness. So if somebody is going to the gym,
No, what we are trying to communicate is
to-
short-lived. After the party is over, they go back to the chips
no,
and
that doesn't. You
colas.
cannot.
Again,
You
no,
cannot
I
go to the gym and sit and go once and build your body and go to the party and it's over.
Yeah,
it
because
never
the
happens like
minute-
that.
Well, what
doctor.
we're saying is we want people to
That's
realize
very few
doesn't happen
who are
like that.
consistent,
People-
and hardly you can see biceps.
fitness is also
Budget.
looking good. Fitness is
Fitness
also
is
looking good.
You need to roll up your sleeves.
It's not about the biceps.
No, what I'm
it's not-
saying
Biceps are a
to be-
disadvantage
Doctor,
here.
why don't you look straight there? I'll show you biceps. There.
Lots of biceps here.
Yeah,
All
there.
are disadvantage.
How many of you
got
can
one
flex your
bicep.
biceps? How many of you can flex your
Flex
biceps?
your biceps, yes.
Look at that. My God, look at that. Yeah. All right,
I want to see Natasha's biceps.
on that note, all of them will flex their biceps in the last round, which is called Third Umpire. Stay tuned.